Hi, people that have been following my skin adventure. I got some messages asking for an update, and up until recently, there really was not much to update. My skin was kind of the same up until recently. Last I left off, I was using tea tree oil and sulfur soap. I was really into the Demodex theory. My goal was to try to kill off the Demodex and then restore my skin's natural moisture barrier. But since that video, I did not stick with my own plan. I was using like this tea tree oil applicator from the health food store, and that was working really beautifully. And then I got my sulfur soap in the mail, so I was using my sulfur soap. And then I started branching off into rosehip oil, colloidal oatmeal, coconut oil, list goes on. So what I found was that the rosehip oil was helping with the redness. The redness did not go away completely. I was still pink, but it was manageable. My skin was manageable up until December. I had little patches here and there, but it was manageable and I could cover it with makeup. I'm a ballet dancer, so I had some nutcracker performances, and I just had to get some color corrector just to cover it up for my costume and my performance, and it was manageable. And it seemed like almost immediately after that, I don't know if it's the cold, if it's the dry weather, my face took a turn for the worse. Instead of just being pink, it almost got more acne-like qualities. It seems that almost every pore on my face is filled with something, and it actually has heads now. It used to be when my skin first started getting bad, back in October 2016, when it first started getting bad, it was just braille-like bumps, and nothing came out of them. They were just little hard baby bumps. You couldn't really see them, but if you touched my face, you could feel them. Now, this last December, last year, 2017, they were more pimple-like, more acne-like. And now I'm actually getting hard nodules and cysts that don't have heads. A big one in my chin here, there's one here. It's spread to my chin. It used to just be concentrated on my cheeks, and now it has spread to my chin. I have more of it on my forehead now, around my eyebrows. My eyebrows are like 50% drawn on, which is why they're the wrong color. A lot of my eyebrow hair is falling out, and it's spreading to my ears now. I have little patches on my ears. I had what looked like dermatitis in this ear, all in the creases, and for some reason I was able to like self-treat that with hydrogen peroxide and it would go away. So this ear is a little better, but now it's all in this ear. That's pretty gross. It's like hard and crusty and nasty, and I'm even getting little pimples or red spots. I don't know if there's anything in them, spreading to my neck. So whatever this is, it's spreading, it's getting worse, and my skin it's brittle, it's like tree bark. It has been cracking off lately, and it's almost like dandruff on my skin. It's so dry, it's so flaky, if I just go like this, it starts snowing from my face. And I get these cracks that do not heal. For example, I split the corner of my lip, a little crack right here, and it is not healing. Like, my skin just doesn't heal like it used to. I used to have, before any of this started, yes, I had fair skin, and my skin was on the drier side, but it was always resilient. Even from when I was a teenager, I was always a skin picker. I always wanted to pop little baby blackheads on my nose. I would always go to town if I ever had a blemish or whatever, and I never scarred. My skin was resilient. Nothing really, it was on the drier side, but nothing really irritated it like this. So now it's just not even my skin anymore. It doesn't heal. It doesn't feel like skin. It feels like leathery, bumpy, braily. I don't know what it is. But there is a little bit of good news, or it could potentially be bad news. I went to a new dermatologist. This is a third dermatologist. So remember, the first dermatologist I went to, he gave me oral antibiotics, doxycycline, he gave me metronidazole, and he gave me ketoconazole, and he told me to wash with CeraVe. This diagnosis was in like the beginning of December of 2016. And by the end of December, by the beginning of January, my skin was clear. Beginning of January, my skin looked beautiful. Flawless, back to normal, okay, I'm cured, fine, whatever. My skin stayed clear until about May. So, when you stop taking the antibiotics. So around May, I noticed little bumpies started coming back, a little pink patch here and there. With the exception of doing antibiotics again, I went back to all the prescriptions, the ketoconazole, the metronidazole, the CeraVe. Skin got worse. Didn't react. It almost seemed like the ketoconazole and the metronidazole was clogging my pores and giving me more pimples. At that time, my insurance changed, so I had to go to the second dermatologist. You might have heard me bitching about him in my last skin update video, where he was just this old boring guy that was like, oh, your skin is red. And he gave me clindamycin and hydrocortisone lotion, and again, more antibiotics. Took all the things, whatever. My skin made about a 60% improvement. Okay, so it did improve, and it did improve quickly. It just did not improve a lot. It was not a whole 100%. So, around July is when that happened, and my skin was okay-ish. July, August, September. I gave up on the antibiotics because you can't live on antibiotics. It's not good for you. So it was probably around, like, November that I started having to, like, pay attention to my skin again. Like, okay, now it's starting to look like it's getting worse. I have to put stuff on it, whether it's the rose oil, the sulfur soap, the tea tree oil, this, that, and the other thing. And it was okay. It was manageable. It was just okay. Like I said, up until the Nutcracker, which was the beginning of December. And then it seemed like right after December is when it got bad, and it's still bad, and I'm beside myself. So anyway, back to the point I was making. This new dermatologist, third guy, different. He takes my insurance. When I was researching him, he has great reviews. So I went to him, and I could tell right away that this would be a little bit different, because the previous two dermatologists that I went to, they were kind of older. Their offices weren't up to date. They were content to just give me antibiotics and give me topical stuff for my face. That was like their go-to thing. They didn't really even take into consideration all of my experiences and comments, like why I don't think this is actually rosacea. I think it's something else. So this third dermatologist, when I went into his office, I could tell right away it was going to be different, because he's not just a dermatologist. He's also like a cosmetic. They do laser treatments there. They do actual surgery. He's a little bit more on the aesthetic side. So he wants people to look good. They offer things like Botox and laser treatments in the office right there. But to me, that shows that you are up to date with all of the new research and alternative therapies. You have to be up to date. You have to be on the up and up with all the new procedures and things that come out if you want to run an office like that. So even though I'm not really going for Botox or a facelift or microneedling or anything like that, the first thing he said, he looked at my face, and the first thing he said was, I want to see blood work. I want to make sure this isn't autoimmune. He said straight up, there are a lot of autoimmune things that can look like rosacea. So why didn't the other two dermatologists want to see blood work? They just went right to the acne rosacea diagnosis, even though I don't think this is rosacea. This doesn't act like rosacea. Everything I read about rosacea, like, it doesn't flare when I eat spicy foods. It doesn't flare when I drink caffeine. It doesn't flare up when I drink alcohol. it gets a little redder when I'm exercising, but everybody's face gets a little redder when you're exercising. This has a mind of its own. There is no correlation between this and the things I put in my mouth or my period. You know, some people say it goes up and down with your hormones. That has not happened to me. And this is spreading. It's spreading everywhere. You can see where it's spreading. It's spreading up here, it's spreading my forehead, it's spreading to my chin, it's spreading in my ears. Like, does rosacea go in ears? I never see rosacea with people having rosacea in their ears. And this new dermatologist was also saying he's like, it's not normal that it keeps coming back as quickly as it does. Because it seems to be like the second I stop taking oral antibiotics, it comes back. When usually the antibiotics are supposed to knock it out for at least a few more months to a year. Another reason that I don't think that this is rosacea is because he gave me rosacea-specific topical medicines. He gave me something called Soolantra, and he gave me something called Rofade. Both of those things are specifically meant to target rosacea, and I've been going on like 3 days of like little samples that he got me, and there's no difference. It's this, the Rofade and the Soolantra is as if I'm continuing doing the things I was doing before I even saw him. My skin is doing the same red, bumpy, little baby pustules, flaky, the cysts, the big hard nodules under my skin, which he did. He gave me little injections of cortisone where the bumps are, which were supposed to heal them in a couple of days, and they haven't. I still have hard bumps all under my skin. There was only maybe one. This one went down a little bit. This was a big one, big one, and stuff came out of it after he injected it, but I have all these little hard cysts and bumps under the skin that are not responding to the typical treatments, the typical therapies that a doctor goes to treat this. So as of right now, I have to find a lab that's going to take my blood. He gave me a little script to go get my blood taken, and he wants to look at all these different things that I don't know. I recognize some of these things: lipids, prolactin, follicle-stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, free testosterone. There's other things in there I don't really know what they are: CBC, CMP, ANA, ESR, SSA, SSB, TETs. I don't know what that stuff is. So I have to get my blood drawn. They send the results to him. First, to make sure it's not autoimmune, it's not something on the inside, which to me makes the most sense, because your skin is your biggest organ. Your skin is like the big filter on your body. It's like anything that is going to come out of your skin. So I'm hoping, well, I don't hope that I have an autoimmune disorder, but if it means looking like a person again, maybe there's something else that can be done. But he said he could also take a scraping of my skin to see if it's fungal or bacterial, which I also secretly hope that it is, because that means you can get rid of it. If it's fungal, you can cure it. I've had fungal infections, like once or twice before, and you just put some cream on it and it goes away and it never comes back. But he also, this is the thing that scares me, he also considered putting me on Accutane, which I'm very wary of. I don't like the idea of taking oral medicines. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of, first of all, like, supposedly there are no side effects other than if you get pregnant, it could really fuck up your baby. Which I don't mind, because I don't want to get pregnant anytime soon. But if something you're taking orally does something on the inside of your body that causes defects, like, that's not a good sign. I mean, I do know some people that went on Accutane, and I think you take it for 5 months. I think it dries you out really bad. You can't drink or anything while you're on it. But other than that, their skin cleared up and their skin is perfect now, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I'm wary to things like that. And I don't want Accutane to be the first option. I almost want to go see a holistic doctor or an acupuncturist or an allergist. All of those things being said, I do like this new dermatologist. He, like I said, he seems to be on the up and up. You know, his office is very up to date, not like the previous two that I went to. He cares about people looking good. You know, I think at least half of his income is based on cosmetic aesthetic procedures. So he cares about, you know, people want to look good. At this point, I don't even care what I have to do. I just want to look good again. I used to have such perfect skin. You would not believe. I mean, throughout my teens, never had a pimple. Okay, maybe like one pimple once a year. But, you know, my skin used to be, it's embarrassing because I work some part-time hours. When I'm not dancing regularly, I work some part-time hours at, like, a liquor store or this store, that, you know, just, like, bullshit, like, retail stuff, just to, like, pick up some hours on the side. And I'm working in this liquor warehouse, and I see people that I went to high school with, and they look at me like they kind of recognize me, but they kind of don't. Like, some people do recognize me, even though my hair is long, my skin is bad, and I wear big nerdy glasses now. Some people, I can tell they're looking and they're thinking, is that no, it can't be, because what happened? So it's a little embarrassing. Of course, this is always a blow on your self-esteem. So I mean, as far as rosacea goes, like I said, I don't believe this is rosacea. I don't think this new dermatologist is really convinced that this is rosacea either. He seems to think there's something else. So as far as me giving you updates and alternative treatments and DIY and at-home remedy things, as far as me helping you with rosacea, I can't, because this is not acting like normal rosacea. I can continue giving you updates. I can let you know, like, what the results of my blood work are, what the dermatologist says when I go back in 2 weeks, and this hasn't improved from the Rofade and the Soolantra. I can let you know whether or not I decide to take Accutane, or if I decide to go in a different direction. I can let you know if I see an acupuncturist, which I think I kind of want to do, or at least a holistic doctor. So yeah, I can keep you up to date, but I guess in hindsight, I should let you know that maybe take everything I say in my previous videos with a grain of salt, because here I am thinking that, oh, without a doubt, it's rosacea, so I'm trying to look up all the rosacea remedies, and they're not working. They're probably not working because this is not simply rosacea. So I hope that you find skin relief elsewhere. If you do have tried and true rosacea, maybe the things that I've tried will help for you. Maybe you have what I have. Maybe you have the same weird rosacea-like disorder that could be an autoimmune disorder, or it could be something else, and everybody keeps diagnosing you with rosacea, and that's why rosacea-specific treatments aren't working for you, and your skin keeps staying bad and getting worse like mine is. So I will definitely keep everybody updated whether or not this is rosacea, whether or not you actually have rosacea. I think any little bit of information helps. So hopefully my next update will be blood work results, what is this if rosacea medicines aren't helping, and then whether I see a different doctor or go down a more holistic path, and what I decide to do with the Accutane. So those are the 4 notes I will hopefully touch on in my next video. Until then, take care. I know this is so frustrating. I have days where I just concede and I just let myself be ugly and I don't try to cover it up and I just don't care. And then there are other days where I just feel so embarrassed and so uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable too, because I call it the witching hour. It's usually between 4 and 7 p.m. that it just gets hot and itchy and irritated for no reason. It's not like I ate something, like I'll be at work and I haven't eaten or drank anything that would irritate it, and it's just hot, itchy, uncomfortable, burning for no reason. And I literally go to the bathroom and get some cold, wet paper towels, and I just stand at my job holding paper towels on my face like this because there's nothing else, like, whatever. Okay, so good luck.